Hello everybody, Jason Napalm here with another video. Today's video is going to be reasons why a Christian should not play video games. This is coming from the perspective of a Christian gamer and psychotherapist, and one who's into how the brain works and how the mind works and how it influences us as people. So, reasons why a Christian should not play video games. Now, keeping in mind I've played video games for about 30 years and I know what kind of experiences they can bring into our life. I know they can bring a lot of fun and things, but as Christians, Christian gamers anyway, we need to be aware of things that may hinder us in our Christian walk. So a few reasons why we shouldn't play games, or specific games should I say, is number one, and that would be anger. If we play a game and it causes us to get angry, we need to remember what the Bible says, to be angry and not sin. So getting a bit frustrated, a little bit sort of, oh, this is getting on my nerves, that's fine. But if you find yourself that you're getting angry with a game and it's frustrating to the point where the fun stops and you end up swearing or breaking controllers, that's time to stop. That's a good reason for a Christian not to play video games, or specific video games, if it causes you to get angry and into sin. Another one is deceit. So, when we play video games, a lot of games are role-playing games. So we sort of take on the character to some degree. We'll do missions as a certain character, and that's all right as long as it stays in fantasy world, okay, not in reality. But if we're playing games such as multiplayer games with other players, being deceitful and lying is not on. And some people will say, well, I'm playing this game and I really want to get this new skin, or I want to get this new thing that I'm grinding for in the game, but in order for me to get it, I have to be a bit dishonest about it. And then I'd have to say, not a good idea. If you're playing a game and it's encouraging you to be deceitful in the real world, okay, in the real world, being deceitful with other people in real time, then that's a good reason for a Christian not to play that kind of game, or at least not submit to the deceptive side of it. Just to clarify that a little bit, I was playing a video game where I had to go and get some stims for another character, okay, and in order to get the stims from another character, you have to sort of go about it in a criminal kind of way. This game's called The Ascent. It's not Grand Theft Auto, by the way. I personally wouldn't recommend Grand Theft Auto. And so in the game, your character has to be a bit deceptive, and he might have to lie to other characters to get certain things. That's in the game, okay. Now, if you feel that that's making you feel uncomfortable, then follow your conscience, okay. If you feel that even just the role-playing aspect of doing something that would be wrong makes you feel you shouldn't do it, then don't do it, okay. I wouldn't say go against your conscience, but at the same time, if you are using a character and he's doing or she's doing things that in the real world you wouldn't do, such as obviously shooting people, then you know that's down to you. Another reason why Christians shouldn't play video games is addiction. Now, some games are addictive, and I use the term in like, oh, one more mission before I go to bed. One more mission, just got to collect a few more things here. I just want to finish up this mission before, or I just want to see what's going to happen on the next part. That's fun, that's fine. But when I say addiction, it means you're not eating, you're not drinking, you're not looking after yourself, you're not looking after your hygiene. You're missing school or college or social life, you're missing church, you're missing out on the social aspect. I'm talking about addiction where if you come away from the game, you actually feel like you're going to have a breakdown over it, okay? Then this is a very serious mental health problem. And not all gamers are addicted to games. Some people have addictive personalities, and so naturally they will be addicted to certain things and they will find it hard to break that addiction. So are games addictive? They're only addictive in as much as you've got an addictive personality, okay? One person may play Final Fantasy and say to me, it's such an addictive game, I can't stop playing it. And I would say, it is an addictive game, but I can pull it down quite easy. And that's because my personality is different from theirs. Okay? So, addiction, back off from the game, take some time away and think about things. If someone comes up to you and says you're addicted, but you're not starving yourself, you're not doing all the other things I said, and it's just a matter of like, I just want to finish one more mission quickly, then that's not addictive. Okay, it's not addiction. That's addictive, but not addiction. Another thing is greed. Another sin that we can get involved in is greed with video games. Another reason why Christians shouldn't play video games is if they're getting greedy for microtransactions, skins, buffs, DLC, and all these other things. We all like a little bit of DLC. We all like a microtransaction here and there, yeah, and everything in moderation. But if it comes to a point where, if you're kids and you're saying to your parents, I need this new DLC like now, and they're saying we haven't got the money now, I don't get paid till next week, and then if you behave yourself you'll get that, then you should, my kids, if they might say to me, can I have a DLC, and I'll say, I haven't actually got the money at the moment, which will be the truth, I'll get paid next week. Okay, fair enough. And then following week they've behaved themselves, I might get it from them. Okay, we're just talking about a few pounds. But if they were to kick off and get angry and start getting nasty or disrespectful, then I'd say, now you're being greedy. Okay, now that's sin. So, one of the reasons a Christian shouldn't play video games, specific video games that are linked to microtransactions, is if it becomes greed and you begin to misbehave yourself and will go to sinful measures to get the money, such as stealing it, or being deceptive about it, and things like that. Another one is lust. Now, a lot of games you can play in general, there's not a problem with that. Some games are 18 rated, such as The Witcher, Witcher 3 specifically, Cyberpunk as well. Both games are known to have nudity and sexual scenes in it, okay? Now, they're not hardcore porn, but they are soft porn, okay? There is nudity in there. You will see, the top half of a person, maybe the back part of a person. To be honest, as my wife said, she couldn't understand how a human being could get off on a video game character anyway, because it's not real. But we know that some people can. And also it can lead to lust as well. So I would recommend not playing, as a Christian, don't play games with any soft porn in it or any nudity to a significant degree. Okay? Especially if you have a problem in that area. I mean, some people can play games, yeah? I think it's Soul Calibur years ago. Soul Calibur, combat game, fighting game. But the women were hugely endowed, wore skimpy clothes. But that didn't interest me. I didn't give a monkeys about it. I was just interested in doing the fighting and the combat and the special moves and that. But for some people who played Soul Calibur, and Dead or Alive, that's the one I'm thinking of, actually, not Soul Calibur, Dead or Alive. I mean, it's ridiculous. The women, the men, the way they're portrayed is just sexism all over the shop. Some people would find that a problem, and that would be a doorway for them to go on into pornography and other sinful things. Also, children, like my son, he's 14, and he wanted to play The Witcher 3 for the aspects of the combat and the storyline. But then I had to double check and look on YouTube at the scenes, some of the cut scenes, and I said, nah, you won't be able to play that. And he didn't care to play it either. He didn't want to play a game with soft porn in it. He's like, oh no, I don't want to do that. He was interested in the combat aspect, gameplay. He wasn't interested in some cutscenes that you couldn't skip. So, for that reason, no, he doesn't need that in his life. Finally, the occult. Now, there is some extremes. I've seen these videos on YouTube where people have gone to a prayer meeting and the pastor has said to some teenage boy, "You've got a demon," and he's like, "Oh, okay. How did I get that?" Basically, he said, "You got it through playing video games." Now this boy, in some cases, has turned around and said, "I was playing Fortnite." How can Fortnite cause demons? How can Call of Duty cause demons? Well, they can't. Demons don't live in televisions, okay? Demons, you can be influenced through television, but you cannot receive devils through TV. They don't live in electrical equipment. I think some people are getting gremlins mixed up with demons, you know? Gremlins are the ones that mess about with electronics, not demons, okay? And gremlins don't exist anyway. So yeah, there we go. With the occult, if your characters have got the ability to cast spells and throw fireballs, lightning, elemental attacks, and you know this, that, and the other, it's not real. It doesn't exist. There's no one throwing fireballs around or making ice columns and calling lightning down on people. It's just all imaginary. So to me, that isn't the same as the occult. The occult in games that I've seen are games that heavily feature pentagrams, actual proper witchcraft and demonic symbolism, okay, real symbolism, not like Final Fantasy creatures and things like that. It's all, you know, nobody, you know, some of the things people might believe in because they're a bit nuts, but there isn't any specific occult stuff in there. And there was a game I was playing once that I enjoyed playing it for the gameplay, but then there come a point in the game where you had to use a virtual Ouija board, okay, virtual Ouija board, so you had to get the controller, move the thing on the Ouija board and spell something out, and I was like, I'm out. I ain't doing that. I ain't playing this game. It's out. That's it. Game over. So that's some reasons why Christians shouldn't play video games. Well, leave a comment and a like if you like it. Leave a thumbs down if you don't like it. You know, any response is a good response to me because at least I know someone's watched the video. And subscribe to my channel for more interesting things. God bless you. Please share this and let me know what you think. This is Jason Napalm. Reasons why Christians shouldn't play video games. Bye bye.